keep it to yourself. I'm feeling curious, want to explore it, nothing too serious. Forget the world for a minute, before we know it, the future's the past. Seize the moment while we're in it, hold on to each other as long as it lasts. I don't care about forever, 'cause sometimes forever is over so fast. Hush, hush, baby, come on, here with me, I want for you to go. No need to worry, there is no hurry to stay, we'll take it slow. Let's do
So long. For the most
It's the 2K Sports Pregame Show.
Hello, Hoops fans. It's the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny, the Jet, the champion, Smith, and Shaquille, the Diesel, the champion several times, O'Neal. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Brooklyn Nets in their house, Barclays Center. Looking at the Nets, they split the season series against these guys last season, 2 games apiece. Should be a good one tonight. The Atlanta Hawks in recent years, a new ownership group, a changeover in the front office, new players in key roles. How do you create continuity given all of those changes, Shaq?
Well, it's not an easy thing to do, but with our good friend Grant Hill, part of the ownership group, I think they've done a good job, all things considered.
Well, they have a consistent philosophy now. You know, a style of play. They draw and kick. They have ball movement, unselfishness. So you know how to trade better, you know how to draft better, and definitely know how to coach better.
Kevin Harlan is standing by as we approach tip-off.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Tell him sit down. Be humble. 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 Sit down.
This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Brooklyn, New York, as the Nets take it to the hardwood here at the Barclays Center. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. Last outing for Atlanta unsuccessful. The loss to the Charlotte Hornets. And that was a real body blow for them. They got taken apart both offensively and defensively.
You know, I don't like to use the word shock, but that was a shocking result for me. Nobody saw that one coming. To lose to that team was surprising enough, but to get blown out like that?
I know. I mean, I'm with you there. It just seemed as though they were sleepwalking their way through that entire game. It was, in my estimation, just inexcusable.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, the NBA Players Union recently voted unanimously to fund health care insurance for retired players. Now, Chris Paul, the Players Association's president, said, "We're in this position because of the hard work of the men who came before us. It's important that we take care of our extended NBA family and ensure the well-being of our predecessors." Kevin?
Thanks, DA. A true sign of how caring the NBA is, always looking out for the retired players. Clark, you talked about this a lot, the changes, the biggest differences from playing college basketball to pro basketball.
Without question, Kevin, a couple of the biggest differences for me were the speed of the game and the quality of the players on the court. That was really something that I was aware of, but it hit me right between the eyes as I got going. And then the other thing was the travel and schedule. I hit a wall after about 60 games and was really a dead man walking for about 10 days before my legs came back and I finished that rookie season strong.
Here's Hollis Jefferson, defended by Ilyasova. So it's the Hawks now. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the backcourt. Dwayne Dedmon is out there with Ilyasova. And it's Prince in at the 3 spot. Drills the three-pointer.
This is the kind of player Ilyasova is. I mean, as soon as he has the ball in his hand, he's thinking about letting the shot go.
And it goes down 2 points. Here's Schroeder. It's Dedmon, top of the key. Lets the 3 fly. Kept alive. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Boy, it's a thing of beauty watching him attack the defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of him on that layup.
Schroeder with the ball. He's picked up by Russell. A floater, and it's finished off by Schroeder as he lays it in.
Oh, such a field shot there, the floater.
Here's Hollis Jefferson, and he goes in for the dunk.
Bit of an oversized playmaking guard allows Russell to see over and around defenders. Great look there.
Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. They double him with Russell. And Bazemore kicks it over to Schroeder. Ilyasova a screen. Stolen away. And now Russell pushing it up. No one back to stop him.
Yeah, loitering above the rim. Hollis Jefferson with athleticism to burn.
For Atlanta, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Knocked away. To the middle. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. And going into last season, Kent Bazemore commanding a salary in excess of $17 million. Greg, how did an undrafted player coming off his first starting season in the league get that kind of salary?
Timing is everything. Reflection of the market. You remember he had that huge spike in the cap. It's also a bet on his upside and work ethic. And with Bazemore, you see that the dedication to improve is there, and that's what made the Hawks comfortable with the contract.
A free throw dropped for Bazemore. And so Bazemore nails both of them. And if there's one thing the Hawks have hung their hats on, it's been their defense.
Very disciplined across the board. They take charges, they protect the paint, they do a great job with their communication. And even though they get their share of blocks and steals, I think they do a great job of avoiding those cheap fouls. You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start. And how about Carroll using his size there, taking it strong inside?
And Atlanta has possession, following the bucket by the Nets. Prince's shot is good.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
And that one is stuffed right through.
Not many players in the league can play at that elevation. I mean, Hollis Jefferson putting on the show. A high wire act.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, and the whistle blows, and it's going to be an over-the-back call here.
Got to be more careful. Can't pick up 2 fouls this early on. You just can't.
Atlanta leading by 4. Ilyasova, no one around him. Another miss by Ilyasova.
And, you know, Kevin, that's what they want, an uncontested look from the perimeter. Sadly, they came up short on that possession.
Mozgov with the bucket.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
Now here's Prince. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Hornets in Charlotte. 6 on the shot clock. Hollis Jefferson with the rebound.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
I like the fact he had his head up immediately looking to make the dish down the floor. Get rid of it quickly.
The Hawks have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Schroeder kicks to Ilyasova. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Ilyasova's got 6.
How on earth did they let him get that wide open?
Here's Russell. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Now here's Ilyasova trying to claw his way back after a terrible showing in that loss to Charlotte.
Yeah, and he's connecting on a lot of his shots here, shooting a high percentage from the field, really giving his team a boost.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
And guys, I like the fact that he chose the one-hand tomahawk slam because you get a little higher when you go off one hand and one foot.
Brooklyn trailing. Crab kicks to Mozgov, and Mozgov throws it down.
Yeah, the understated athleticism of Mozgov. When his knee is feeling okay, he gets off his feet pretty quickly.
Atlanta's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range in the first quarter, and Mozgov comes to help. Now here's Bazemore. He's tightly guarded, and there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov. That is his first foul of the game. Her kicks to Ilyasova. Ilyasova, a screen. Shot clock at 6. He used that pick to get in close.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Here's Mozgov, and Mozgov throws it down.
You know, he's fairly well coordinated for a big guy. Mozgov able to put it on the floor and get it to the rim.
For Atlanta, they've gotten 8 of their 13 shots to find the bottom of the bucket. Ilyasova inside the line, rebounded by the Nets. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And you know, Greg, they were sinking shots left and right, and that's got to be demoralizing for the defense. They were in a real zone.
Here's Schroeder after the basket by Brooklyn, and Ilyasova kicks it to Bazemore. Poked loose. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. Hollis Jefferson, good. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Nets.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
Now, here is Russell. 17 points in his last outing.
Hey, you know, D'Angelo Russell clearly has had his missteps. A lot of young players do. Embroiled in a controversy a couple of seasons back that hurt his relationship with his teammates. I think he's still in the process of working to recover that trust.
And Russell in the past criticized Clark for his maturity or the lack of maturity. But, you know, Clark, we forget how young a lot of these guys are.
Yep, well said. They are young, but there is a level of professionalism that you have to embrace pretty quickly. And D'Angelo struggled with that initially, but he's the kind of kid, he's smart, he wants to be good. I think he's going to zero in and put it all together because we know the talent is there. Now it's about maturing.
And the Hawks with possession here, following the bucket by the Nets. Here's Hollis Jefferson. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Orlando.
And not just the scoring. It was also how fierce he was on defense, grabbing 3 steals on the night as well. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. Mark, most great defenders are at the forward positions in the league right now.
Yeah, they are, and I tell you what, boy, you talk about Klay Thompson shooting, but defensively, he is actually, he's an instructional video, what he does defensively. He's strong, he's smart, he's disciplined, and he has tremendous lateral quickness. I don't know if there's a better defender at the wing position than Klay Thompson. I know Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is in the conversation, Tony Allen, but Klay Thompson gets my #1 vote.
making some changes. Collins checked in for Dwayne Dedman. Bellinelli comes in for Kent Bazemore. And it's Malcolm Delaney in for Dennis Schroeder. Here's Delaney. Collins passes to Delaney. To end the run. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
And it's just been an avalanche of points here in the early going.
Yeah, you know, both teams scoring at a really steady clip. If you like good offense, you've come to the right spot. This is your game.
Prince. Booker pulls it in.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Here's Prince. After the basket by Brooklyn. Delaney kicks to Collins. They double him with Booker. Here's Bellinelli, and he jams it with authority.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
The Hawks trail by 8. Pass to Delaney. He kicks to Collins. Lays it up and banks it in.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Here's LeVert. No good on the 3. The Hawks shooting quite well in these early minutes, 55%. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. And just who is providing all the playmaking here tonight? Let's look at the breakdown between the front and backcourt for the Nets.
And their guards have been the ones to really set the tone here tonight with their ability to create shots. You talk about the big fellas. They love to play with guards who try to keep them involved offensively. And despite that miss, a strong start for them offensively.
Yeah, they're scoring with confidence, Greg, making them count in the early going here.
And the basket is good. Now just a 4-point Nets lead.
Boy, I like seeing the ball get to that spot. It doesn't get much better than that.
14 feet away. Here's Dinwiddie. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Dinwiddie's got his first points of the game. Delaney kicks to Muscala. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And Mozgov comes to help. It's Prince on the wing, guarded by Harris. Another miss by Prince.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Here's LeVert. That one falls, coming off Dinwiddie's feet. LeVert's got 5 points so far.
LeVert showing you can rise up from deep, a quality shooter when given room to fire.
Delaney kicks to Muscala. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Yeah, and I like it. I love seeing that. It's a lot of fun when that happens. These teams are going at each other from the outside.
Now here's Prince, following the missed shot by Timofey Mozgov. Here's Harris. 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
Delaney kicks to Muscala. A minute 42 left here in the first quarter. Prince in the corner. Puts up a 3. Mozgov grabs the board. Mozgov's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
The Nets shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And he knocks down the first one. It's been a coaching carousel in Brooklyn in recent years, Clark. Your thoughts on Coach Kenny Atkinson, who came from Atlanta, and what he's done there, and what about his staff?
Well, brave souls, and I think Kenny Atkinson has the right approach. Time will tell what kind of coach he becomes, but I like what I've seen from him. He confessed that people he respected told him he'd be insane to take the job, but nothing ventured, nothing gained, and he stepped into it. The Nets have to return the faith he showed and give him time to build this team.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Pretty clear they're dominating that area. They've come out with a lot more energy and effort so far.
Here's Booker, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And Atlanta gets called for the foul.
And Booker is a thickly built guy, pretty muscular, somebody that uses his muscle and his weight to his advantage.
And one of those lunch pail players. You love him, Greg. Trevor Booker out of Clemson.
Just hard-nosed, gets on the glass, and although only 6'8", he gets off his feet quickly. A terrific leaper and just one of those ultra-competitive guys.
And Trevor Booker is generously listed at 6'8". We call that a program height. But he is a quick leaper, so he plays bigger than he is. You let him get in close, and he'll punch that ticket on you.
Both free throws good from Booker. Clark, and as good as Booker is around the rim, he's looking to stretch his range out beyond the arc.
And that's a wise move for him as a player. Expand your range because you've shown you can make that shot, and I think that just makes him more valuable on offense.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
And the Hawks with possession here. Following the bucket by the Nets. They double him with Booker. Passes it to Delaney. And a miss there on the triple. The drive by Booker. Doesn't go that time. So Atlanta will take it the other way. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. Back to Delaney. It's Prince on the wing. 12 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The pass to Delaney. From deep three-point range, no good, trying to beat the buzzer. And so it's Brooklyn, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And the Nets pretty much in control here, it would seem.
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Just jumped all over him, Greg. I mean, pounced on him, using their length and quickness to come away with those steals.
And Atlanta has possession, down by 12. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Down low, it's Booker and Mozgov. Then there's Harris. And it's Kilpatrick in at the 2. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul. This goes against Atlanta. Clark, when you were playing, what was your game day routine like?
Well, it was simple. I didn't complicate things, Kevin. I tried to get a good meal, was just beginning to learn how to eat properly and best for my body. And then I would always try to get an hour to 2 hour pregame nap. That goes all the way back to high school. I enjoy just getting off my feet. Sometimes I would fall asleep completely. Other times I would just kind of drift into a light sleep. But just having that routine of resting before games was part of how I got ready to try to serve the other guys up.
Both free throws good from Booker.
Boy, I love Trevor Booker's game now. Physical, dependable, consistent. Man continues to evolve his game.
Now, here is Muscala. There's the pick. Bellinelli dishes to Collins. Pass to Delaney. Prince against Harris. Here's Collins. They double him with Booker. Goes back up. That one's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down to just 12 points with the basket for Muscala.
Even double team, he had the vision to see the open man.
And good that time. And that's now 10 points for Timofey Mozgov.
Mozgov playing with great energy. Surprises the defense with the drive there.
Now Bellinelli. Here's Collins. No good. He has missed 3 of his 5 attempts this game. Here's Kilpatrick. And yes, it's good. And the Nets lead by 16. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Bellinelli. Rebound, Brooklyn. Booker's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Wide open. Offensive rebound. Mozgov can't hit that one. The Hawks trail by 16. From about 16, here's Collins. Rebounded by the Nets. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Atlanta.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
2 conference foes, guys, looking to take game 1 tonight. Yeah, very interesting to see who can land the first blow.
Tamari Carroll's checked in for the Nets. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Atlanta. Ken Bazemore comes in for Taurean Prince. Here's Delaney. From deep, Ilyasova. Rebounded by Kilpatrick. Here's Carroll. The putback, and Booker able to finish.
Booker has a real nose for the pumpkin. Effective at throwing down misses, and he does so with authority.
The Hawks trail by 18. Atlanta calls timeout.
Yeah, the amount of points they've given up here in the paint, that's what they got to talk about.
Absolutely, Greg. I mean, they're getting crushed, killed, hammered, pulverized in the post.
And, of course, for the Nets, I mean, they won't control their own first-round pick until 2019. There's going to be some losing along the way with not much reward.
Hollis-Jefferson, he's checked in for Harris. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Schroeder's checked in. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Poked away. And here's the fast break. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. The Hawks trail by 18. And here is Muscala. Over Booker. Muscala gets the bucket. Muscala's got 7.
Boy, can he finish in the paint. That's one thing we know he's good at.
Here's Hollis-Jefferson, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
He is out there for his defense. But as quiet as it's kept, Hollis-Jefferson making an impact with his scoring, too.
They set the pick. Here's Schroeder, and he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
If you're going in amongst the trees, you have got to be aggressive.
Boy, like his intensity, Greg. He's not afraid to take it straight to the rack on the bigger defender. Right at him.
And Dennis Schroeder out of Germany handed the keys as the full-time starter at the point guard in his 4th season.
And with his confidence and competitive spirit, you know he was chomping at the bit for that opportunity. And you got to love his athleticism coupled with that big play capability. It's just exciting to see how good this young man can become.
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Carroll. And the shot no good, a bit short. The Hawks trail by 15. Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. They get it back. Bazemore passes to Schroeder. Now Bellinelli. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. He'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
It was very close, and I wouldn't mind letting them play on that one. It wasn't blatant by any means.
And sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
The Nets have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws, so those are numbers you'll be happy with.
And it's denied.
The 7'2" wingspan of Hollis Jefferson paying off right there. His defense can be suffocating.
And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
Now here's Schroeder. He's coming off a 25-point game against Charlotte.
Terrific timing on that pass, placing it in a great spot, ideal spot where his teammate could score.
Ooh, just powered it down with both hands. You know he's not going to mess that one up.
Oh, no, not this fella. He is a superb finisher.
Yeah, near the hoop, he's an absolute monster.
Ilyasova hits the bucket.
And Ilyasova has a lot of shine on his game as a scorer. I mean, you can't ever go wrong.
Oh,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. My goodness.
And guys, that's not as easy as he made it look. You've got to have some skills to pull that off.
Well, he's got plenty of those, that's for sure.
Yes, indeed. Let's just call him ladder climber.
Okay. Count the basket. Hollis Jefferson's got 20 points.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Whitehead passes to Kilpatrick. Banked in off the glass. Kilpatrick's got 6 here in this quarter.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
The Hawks again can't hit. Nets leading by 23. Here's Hollis Jefferson. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Atlanta gets called for the foul.
Boy, Hollis Jefferson really hard to stay in front of when he goes to the rack. And as a result, he can live at the line at times.
Second free throw, no good. And while he's working on his shooting, Hollis Jefferson has shown an ability to create shots. Clark with his herky-jerky drives to the cup.
Kevin could not agree with you more. He is a bit herky-jerky, but that handle is tight, and that allows him to maneuver on the court as a playmaker.
Clock at 4. The shot by Bellinelli, no good. In transition, here come the Nets. A nice shot by Booker.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And for Rondé Hollis Jefferson Clark, he can do a lot of different things, but the hole in his game has been his inability to shoot the ball.
Well, I've got to be honest with you. That jumper of his is really broke. I mean, it's just quirky and unorthodox and needs some work. It's awkward, very awkward. And he seemed to regress a bit offensively in his second year. If he can repair that shot, though, I think he's got a lot to offer.
And Kevin, they've been committing a lot of turnovers here. Taking care of the basketball is the #1 priority right now in that huddle. They've got to tighten it up. checking out some stats for D'Angelo Russell, how he performed last season. Last season, he averaged 15 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he's very steady with that second unit, running the offense and getting them into their sets.
Right. I mean, your backup point guard simply has to hold the fort, maintain the status quo, share the basketball, and minimize mistakes.
In the post, Clark, you were as polished as they come. I watched it with my own eyes and loved the way you play. Just how important, when you go back to that time, is footwork for a big man in the NBA?
Well, I think it's everything, regardless of what size you are, big or small. Fundamentally sound footwork is essential to being a solid offensive basketball player. And as a guy who played inside and out, it was something I took pride in. And I wasn't the greatest athlete, a decent athlete, so my footwork allowed me to gain an advantage against bigger guys.
And the Hawks, known for their equal opportunity drive and kick offensive style. But, Greg, their three-point shooting percentage has cratered the last few seasons.
Yeah, and the way the league is going, that's something they'll have to fix. The free throw line, also an issue for this group. It's clear they're in search of more shooting.
Schroeder kicks it to Bazemore. Ball's knocked loose. And now Russell pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Finished off the break. Russell's got 7 points in the game.
Defense turning into offense. Hollis Jefferson doing what he does best.
In the corner, Ilyasova with it. And it's off from three-point range.
Well, it looks like he's cooled down a bit after hitting those 2 in the first quarter.
Hollis Jefferson.
Excellent awareness there, zipping the ball over to the perfect spot to score.
Hawks shooting a cool 28% in the second quarter. Here's Ilyasova, and he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
Really starting to come into play now is the mindset of Ilyasova inside, using every inch of his wingspan to get these shots up and in.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Yeah, I like everything you said there, because when all else fails, if you can get to the stripe, that's really a good way to change the momentum in the game, because you get points and you also slow down the opponent because the game isn't going up and down as much.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And it's Russell missing.
Great look, but he couldn't finish. Everything but is how we say that. Surprising, since the defense was very pedestrian.
Now the dish to Bazemore. The high post shot. Hollis Jefferson with the rebound. Hollis Jefferson's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul. This goes against Atlanta. Atlanta making some changes. Collins comes in for Ilyasova. And it's Taurean Prince in for Bellinelli. He's off on the first.
And guys, you have to be able to knock down your free throws. Struggling with that this quarter. Good way to let your opponent back in the game.
And the Nets' decision to go all in for a title, much scrutinized, and rightly so. I mean, you've got to respect the financial commitment, and at the time, an NBA record for payroll didn't quite pan out the way they hoped.
The Nets making a switch here. Mozgov's checked in. Hawks shooting around 40% from the floor here. And for the Nets back in 2013-14, the new luxury tax structure resulted in record losses for the franchise. $144 million. That's a lot in a single season.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros, Kevin. More than 10 times the next closest team at the time. So that's not a list you want to be on. Ownership now showing a little more discipline and restraint. Even looking to sell almost half the team to spread those future costs.
Nets shooting 61%, showing all the indications of an offense that is locked in. Chalk up 2 there.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild.
Atlanta shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
And he makes the first. And the Hawks traded Howard and lost Paul Millsap in short time. So the rebuild, it would appear, is on for Atlanta.
Yeah, and it seems like they feel good with how they've approached it. You know, you got to commit to turning things over and starting anew. And the Hawks have taken the first steps to building towards the future.
Spencer Dinwiddie's checked in for Russell. Shooter kicks to Muscala. They set the pick. Here's Delaney. Off the left rim and out.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
Here's Collins, and fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts, and a chance for one more here.
His hard work on the backboard really just has given them more opportunities to score.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here. That one misses for Collins.
And over the course of the Nets franchise history, some interesting decisions. I mean, back in the 90s, they came very close to changing the team name to the Swamp Dragons. I think I'm just going to leave that one right there.
Schroeder's gotten 3 of his 8 shots to go, around 37%. Crab, no good.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
So, Greg, how close were the Nets to being the Swamp Dragons anyway?
Well, it needed a unanimous vote of all the teams to change it, but there was one vote against it. The Nets themselves voted against the change, and they had 7 owners who rotated voting duties, and the one on deck got cold feet.
The Hawks have made 7 out of 9 when they've stepped to the line.
Definitely an area where they can improve. Only 73% as a team from the line last year.
Harris has checked in for the Nets. That's good from Schroeder.
That's a great job getting to the line here. You know, he didn't have a single attempt in that first quarter because I thought he was tentative. Much more aggressive here in the second.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
I tell you, we're taking a look at some real deficiencies defensively. I mean, they've given up 5 straight good looks in the paint.
They get a hand on it, and stolen by Booker, and here they come. A nice shot by LeVert. LeVert's got 9.
And LeVert knows exactly where to go in transition, incredibly quick in the open floor.
Guys, we've seen a lot of turnovers in this one.
Yeah, focus, focus, focus. Just make the simple play. And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Yeah, no question about it. I mean, as they're looking to battle back, that's one of the key elements. You got to rebound.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, and it's Schroeder in the corner. The Hawks again can't hit.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
For Brooklyn, they have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line. The first one falls.
And you have to like the way he's attacking the defense, drawing fouls and getting himself chances at the line this quarter.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. 16 seconds left in the first half of the game. It's Prince on the wing. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. Schroeder's got 6 assists in the game. Here's Booker. That one a little long. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets ahead by 26 points as we get ready for the break. Their defense has been active and effective. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Mike Budenholzer. Coach, probably not the defensive effort you were hoping for thus far.
Yeah, no, our defense isn't where it needs to be. I think they're getting open looks, we're overshifting, and then we're not committing to shooters. Just not a very good defensive effort so far.
Mike, thanks very much for your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, y'all, welcome back. Ernie Johnson here with Kenny the Jet Smith. That's Shaquille O'Neal. Thanks for joining us. And boy, a pumped-up home crowd is behind us right now. It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what do you think?
Well, it comes down to confidence. From the opening tip, these guys had that swag. They had the attitude that you can't beat us, we can only beat ourselves.
And over to the big fella. Your thoughts on the Hawks?
The first thing to say is, what's up with the turnovers? Jeez. You can live with some missed shots and stuff like that, but you can't keep turning the ball over. It's crushing for a team. It just saps all your confidence when you play a half like that, Ernie. Ugh.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
The Brooklyn Museum, just one of the many places to visit here in this famous borough of New York City. Welcome back, folks. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. The Hawks shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. On the court for Atlanta, Prince and Muscala holding down the forward spots. Schroeder and Bazemore are in the backcourt, and it's Dedmon in at the 5.
And it's all about the release when you shoot the floater.
The drive by Russell makes that one his 6th of the night, shooting a very healthy 6 for 9.
Big guard, nice handle. D'Angelo can take you a number of ways off the drive.
Schroeder against Russell. Tipped away. Muscala dishes to Schroeder. Prince, right side. Down to 5 on the shot clock. A baseline J, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team. And a look here at the shot chart for the Nets.
You know, I doubt they came into this game thinking they would be doing this much damage from mid-range, but you have to give them credit for being able to see what is available in their offense and then exploit the weakness of the D. To be successful in this league, you have to be flexible, and they've done a great job of that so far.
Russell, good. And a nice assist from Booker. 15 points for D'Angelo Russell.
Yes, filling it up. Russell now shooting past his typical scoring pace.
And a big move for D'Angelo Russell this past offseason. Traded from the Lakers to Brooklyn. Now one of the major building blocks of this team that has embraced him wholeheartedly.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Kicks it to Schroeder, and stolen by Booker. To the paint, here's Crabbe, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass. And with the draft spot the Lakers have, and the spotted history with D'Angelo Russell. You know, Greg, it wasn't a huge shock to see him move.
You know, it just seemed to me that Russell wasn't the right fit for what LA wanted to do. Still a very young and talented player who has a chance to kind of reinvent himself here in New York. He's shown a bit more maturity since that trade and since joining this team. And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Field goal number 9. He's 9 of 12 with that basket.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Okay, time now for an injury report.
Hey, Kevin, I spoke with the head athletic trainer for Brooklyn. At this point, he's saying that it looks like a grade 1 sprained ankle. That is a bitter pill for them to swallow so early in the season. It clearly changes the look of this team going forward, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Hopefully, we'll see him very soon. Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. Schroeder against Russell. Knocks it loose. Back to Bazemore. Clock at 6. And the layup falls.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Here's Russell. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
They have come out of halftime in fuego.
Hawks have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. And now Russell pushing it up. No one back to stop him. And the slam dunk by Russell.
Boy, I tell you what, Russell is a problem out there. D'Angelo with the anticipation to flick it away and then kick off the fast break.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Russell.
Taking a look now at some numbers for Bazemore. How he did last season. Averaged about 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And you look at those numbers, not bad. But, guys, I think he can do better, and he knows it.
And he has high expectations for himself as well, guys, but he just hasn't delivered fully on his potential yet.
And it's Schroeder missing.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Dedmon passes to Schroeder. Here's Muscala. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. These are the players who had the most success from deep last season. And you look at Crabbe, second in the league, extremely accurate from beyond the arc.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving in terms of that spot among the league leaders from 3.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for Atlanta. Bellinelli comes in for Taurean Prince.
And since they've come out of halftime, they've been extremely poised and very efficient.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, certainly a step up from the first half. They're more engaged, more focused here in this second half, and they're getting good results.
Hollis Jefferson, good. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Brooklyn.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity.
They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become.
Hawks shooting 39% from the floor, not their best. Russell against Schroeder. Launches it. And that's good. Marco Bellinelli for 3. Bellinelli's got 5.
And Bellinelli moves well in these situations, staying active at all times and being rewarded there with his effort.
And I thought he had the space to shoot comfortably there, and disappointed that he missed it.
Schroeder kicks to Ilyasova. The Hawks working the ball around. Here's Muscala. No good off the front iron. Nets shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. The shot by Carroll, no good. Hawks have gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Inside. Here's Bazemore, and that one good. Bazemore's got 4 points this quarter.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. Whitehead's checked in for Brooklyn. Here's Schroeder. He's got 15. Dishes it to Bazemore. From deep three-point range, they get it back. Good on the shot. 11 points in the game.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
The Nets have had 15 tries at the line. They've made 10. First free throw is good. And Nets coach Kenny Atkinson, before taking over in Brooklyn, a key assistant in Atlanta under coach Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah, and you talk about the Spurs coaching tree. There are a lot of good branches on that tree, boy. Budenholzer spent almost 2 decades in San Antonio. Now his assistant in Atlanta, Kenny Atkinson, is the head coach in Brooklyn.
Harris is checked in for Crabbe. And Ilyasova kicks to Muscala. Here's Bellinelli, guarded by Harris. Bellinelli gets the bucket. Bellinelli's got 7 points.
Yeah, and Bellinelli, very creative, has that ability to get into the heart of the defense.
Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Bazemore misses.
Yeah, that's just poor decision-making. He's got to be better in those situations.
Greg, I just think he was in a hurry. He flat out rushed it. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking there. He actually was in a brain-neutral position.
Hawks have gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. And here's Ilyasova outside. That one, no good. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip.
Boy, the explosiveness and ball handling of Hollis Jefferson on display there.
Atlanta's shooting 47% from the field in the third. From deep, Ilyasova connects from three-point range. Ilyasova's got 19 points.
Yeah, it's such a sweet three-point stroke there, and it can really open things up inside because as good as he shoots it, it forces the opposing bigs to have to step out on the perimeter.
Delaney kicks to Ilyasova for the 3. Rebounded by Kilpatrick.
Boy, it's surprising that he clunked that one. I mean, it's... Hey! Ooh, wow! What a nice finish. Hollis Jefferson showing you his bounceability there.
Atlanta's gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. And Ilyasova kicks it to Bazemore. Pass to Delaney. Ilyasova a screen. The feed now to Bellinelli. No good on the triple. One item that stood out, their ball movement.
Things are definitely clicking, and more importantly, it makes it really hard to defend. Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Greg, the play in the paint has gone almost entirely all their way.
There's the pick. Delaney kicks to Bellinelli. Here's Delaney. And the miss, not the best shot selection there.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
In the corner, Bazemore with it. Second chance shot. Muscala misses. They are in complete control.
This is the ultimate definition of the zone. Everything they've done has worked.
Boy, he just keeps coming at you. Hollis Jefferson, so energetic.
He's had a few chances at the line, 1 of 3 in the game.
And last season, he made good on about 3 out of every 4 free throw attempts. And last time I checked, I think that's 75%.
The first one falls. Collins checked in for Atlanta. Both shots good from the stripe.
Boy, he's like mortar when you look at Rondé Hollis Jefferson. He's a guy that holds things together, plays with great energy and effort, and that's contagious and also beneficial for a team.
Here's Collins. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10. There's Hollis Jefferson. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Hollis Jefferson's got 12 points in just the second half. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Here's Ilyasova, and it's good. He planted his feet on the pick and shielded the defender off.
Nice use that time of the mid-range area of the floor from Ilyasova. His stroke. Oh! Talk about bringing it.
Wow, we are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special.
A circus dunk for you right there, guys.
That three off the mark. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting a superb 63% from the field. Hollis Jefferson can't hit. The Hawks shooting right around 42% from the field since the start of the second half. Ilyasova a screen. Delaney, the pass to Ilyasova. Another miss by Ilyasova. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Gets hauled in by Ilyasova. Ilyasova's got his 7th rebound here tonight. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Drops in the tray. Bazemore's got 7 now in this quarter.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
And how about that? What a sensational finish.
Hey, you got to be able to get some hang time to do that one.
Yeah, to glide in and reverse it home like that, so sweet.
Collins a screen on Carroll. Shoots off the screen. Bazemore misses.
Well executed. Great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot. And if you're a pro, you need to make that one. I mean, his field goal percentage isn't good. He's not helping his team out there shooting this poorly.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Hollis Jefferson's got 39.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Feeds it to Collins. He dishes it to Ilyasova. Brooklyn with the rebound. Here's LeVert. Here's Dinwiddie. And he gets the bucket.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
Yeah, it's finishing your defense, Greg. We know that. You can defend, then you got to rebound the miss, and you got to get to the glass with intensity.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets, able to put on a show for the ages. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back. 4th quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. They've got Harris. Quincy AC out there with Allen. And it's LeVert in at the 2 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Allen's shot is off. And Atlanta has possession. They get to take on the Heat at Miami after this one. That will be the 4th of the string of 5 played on the road. On defense, the Nets. It falls through, making him 6 for 11 in the game.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Collins dishes to Dorsey. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. And Clark, the topic of the need for league parity is something that's come up the last few years. Is that necessary for a healthy NBA?
I don't think so, Kevin. I mean, you can have it both ways. You can have tremendous popularity and success when you have a dominant team or 2 or 3. And you can also have it when there's great competitive balance. Currently, we have a circumstance and situation where the league is top-heavy in terms of championship contenders. But that won't last forever. and there will be a graduating back to a more competitive balance in time. So I think you enjoy the ride for what it is in the season and seasons that you have, whichever side of that coin you have.
And the first one drops.
And they didn't shoot it very well from the line in the first half, but they've gotten much better since halftime, and it's helped them to secure the lead.
And he makes both free throws.
And good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half, doing a great job at the line.
Collins kicks to Brasino. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Collins passes to Dorsey. A three-pointer off the mark.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know. Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Perfect execution. That's how you take advantage of a transition opportunity.
He feeds it to Collins. And Dorsey kicks to Collins. Knocks it loose. Here's Dinwiddie. Here's Allen. It's rebounded by Brasino. We're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter in this one.
Oh, and how about squeezing the orange as tight as he could there before the stuff?
Yeah, no way he's going to lose that thing on the way up.
Better safe than sorry, right?
And he might be small for a center, but boy, can he jump out of the building.
And Dorsey kicks to Babbitt. There's the screen. Uncovered. And again, it's Atlanta. It's the Nets now. Passes to Allen. Basket is good. The assist from Harris.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. The drive by Allen. Offensive rebound, Nets. And it's LeVert missing. Atlanta's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Don't usually see him shooting the three.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
And Allen with the block. Here's Harris. Rebound, Atlanta. Collins has got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Dorsey. And the three off target. The Nets shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for two. And Atlanta gets called for the foul. Well, we know just how athletic the NBA has become since its inception. Clark, even from when you played, just how much faster and stronger has the game become?
I would say if we were going to try to put a percentage on it, I think it's grown 60, 70% in terms of athleticism. And a lot of it is attributable to the training advances that have been made in sports science and sports medicine and sports performance. And that's benefited and aided the players greatly. And then you have players that have... And Karis LeVert is a very willing passer, somebody who's always looking to set up his teammates, actually focuses on doing that.
Atlanta's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Collins kicks to Brasino. There's the double team with Allen. Here's Dorsey. Good as the jump shot falls.
I'm still kind of trying to figure out how that one went in. Don't think they drew it up that way, but hey, it still counts because it worked.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
Gets a hand on it, controls the rebound, and puts it back up and in.
Boy, I tell you, he has been lights out Sadly, they're still behind. He needs his guys to step up.
That one falls. 8 points for Allen.
He's been much more effective in the second half than he was in the first.
And Allen with the slam.
Here he comes, and there he goes.
Look at him punish that rim.
Boy, the guys on the bench loving every minute of that one.
Now Dorsey. Here's Collins. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And referee play review is something that is still relatively new in the NBA. Clark, do you think it should be expanded?
I think we should continue to modify and refine it and be careful to not look to overdo it. But we also want to make sure we're using it productively and prudently. So modify it, refine it, evaluate it each year, and try to make really good use of it in the areas where it can be most effective in enhancing the calls that are made in the game.
The first free throw is good. The Hawks making a switch here. Schroeder's checked in. And so Collins nails both of them.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
And that efficiency, Greg, as you know, so critical when you're looking to overcome a deficit. You've got to be close to perfect and can't waste scoring opportunities.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Yeah, double-digit advantage on the scoreboard. They've taken the initiative. They've played, I think, with more purpose so far.
Floats one, and that one's good. Schroeder. The Nets shooting about 59% from the floor offensively. They've been running without a hitch.
Really like that work there in the paint. He has really established a low post presence.
For Atlanta, they've gone 8 of 13 from the field since the start of the fourth, sinking the majority of their shots. Powered down as the whistle blows. A 3-point play chance.
Boy, good job firing the pass inside there. I mean, all his teammate had to do was catch and finish.
And Clark, we know that players are evaluated in a historical perspective, largely by how many rings they have. Do you think that's a fair way to evaluate things?
I don't think you can solely evaluate an individual player in a team sport by the number of rings he's been able to win. Clearly, it can be part of the criteria, especially if you're talking about great players who have had similar careers. It can be a differentiator. But to me, it doesn't necessarily carry the weight that some people like to give it in evaluating players. Individual performance over time is what, to me, marks the hallmark of a player worthy of Hall of Fame consideration or being talked about being one of the greats in the game.
Stolen by Allen. And here we go. Brooklyn, fast break. Shots good by Whitehead.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Hey, that's a big piece of the pie when you're talking about winning basketball, fast break points. I mean, because most of the time, those are easy hoops.
Nobody near Schroeder. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Here's Kilpatrick. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
No expiration date on their legs. They just seem to be fresher, and they're putting those fresh legs to good use.
Atlanta again missing. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what a performance we are seeing.
Here's Bembry. Nailed from 3-point land.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire fourth quarter.
And, you know, this is the time to do it. Sinking triple after triple. And it ends up becoming contagious.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Well, when you knock down jumpers like that, it opens everything else up as well.
Here's Brasino. Here's Collins. Rebound, Brooklyn. Whitehead's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Allen passes to Whitehead. Makes it off the glass. Whitehead's got 4 this quarter.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Trains the three-pointer.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Here's Crabb. Bembry with the rebound. Atlanta's gone over and over to the three-point shot in the fourth quarter. 4 of 9. And it's Schroeder in the corner. Now the pass to Bembry. 13 feet away. That's short off the rim. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting very well right now, 52% in this fourth quarter. Goes up again. No luck, they battled on the glass but couldn't knock it down. The Hawks shooting very well right now, 52% in this fourth quarter. Babbitt's shot is off.
I can't explain what happened there, Kevin. I mean, he had the layup. Looked like it was a simple play. Somehow the defense threw him off just enough to cause the miss.
And the NBA has a concerted effort to lower the amount of back-to-back games for the players. Clark, should they stretch out the season even further?
No, the ideal solution, Kevin, would be to reduce the number of games, to cut a month off the season. That would be the way to get to where we need to get to. The season should be 66 to 70 games. It should be spaced out over a 6-month period. And if you cut 12 to 16 games, then you would be able to actually get fewer number of back-to-back. Stretching the season out longer, to me, is not the answer. Reducing the number of games would be the best way to get to the solution. But that toothpaste is out of the tube, and I don't know if we can ever get it back in.
Agreed.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Mozgov kicks to Allen. Over Collins. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Well-coordinated shot mechanics, especially for a guy with his length.
Yeah, and you know, it looks effortless, easy, silky smooth, textbook shooting form. Man, that's nice.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Dinwiddie's checked in. Bembry's checked in for the Hawks. Out to the right wing. Collins passes to Bembry.
Yeah, that's a bad move there. Stops the clock and puts the other side on the line.
Yeah, inexcusable. I mean, he's got to know not to take any chances there. That's just a terrible foul.
With the versatility of modern players and the switching that goes on in defensive schemes, Clark, are traditional NBA positions meaning less and less in the game now?
I think we're finding that more teams are playing close to positionless basketball in many ways. So positions aren't nearly as important as skill sets with your 5 players on the floor. I think that's what you look at when you field your team.
Schroeder kicks to Dedmon. The Hawks working the ball around. And he banks in the layup.
And, you know, that's good offense there. These are the shots you want to get all the time.
Here's Mozgov. The Nets get it back in a new 24. And it's Allen slamming it down.
And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA, such a good, aggressive play in the paint.
Guys, it's all about persistence on the offensive glass. You just can't ever give up on a play.
.132 left here in the fourth quarter. Here's Collins, true on the 14-footer. Collins has got 22.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Nets.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
Especially because they're going to get together 3 more times this season, Greg. You love to get an opponent figured out early when you're going to be seeing them that often.
.119 left in the fourth quarter. There's the double team with Allen. Babbitt kicks to Dedmon. They set the pick. It's stolen by Allen. Pass to LeVert. Atlanta with the rebound. Fast break, here they come. Babbitt dishes to Collins. Here's Schroeder. That one misses. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're up by 49. 41 seconds left in the fourth. And now we present our Jordan Player of the Game.
And guys, no doubt who our pick was going to be. He's made everyone else on the court look like they're playing at half speed. It's been total domination, and you can't help but just sit back and admire that performance.
Tamari Carroll's check in for Brooklyn. 41 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Here's LeVert. Bembry with the rebound. He kicks it to Babbitt. Takes a three. Here's Collins. There's the dish to Dedmon. Here's Schroeder. That doesn't go either for Schroeder. Here's Whitehead. Can't cash in from close range. And as it goes out of bounds, Atlanta able to keep the ball here. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
And an intentional foul right there. First free throw is good. And so he's able to get one of two. Dinwiddie passes to Allen. And it's Allen with the jam.
I tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Big time. I mean, it's amazing. Their crowd letting them hear it. And that's always inspiring. They want to see this thing get wrapped up.
And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. See you next time.